Everyone, welcome back to Five to Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we're going to do a brief examination on what the hell is going on Bitcoin. We're going to look at the DXY briefly, some news that's going on, and just keep you up to date. So get right to it. The hourly chart, slight hesitation on the upside move because of that DXY news. The news that heard around the world, the CPI, much better than expected, right? We expected a negative, which would have made the markets rally a little bit. Obviously much more positive for the US dollar. Core CPI twice as good as forecasted, twice as good as month previous. And now we have even a little bit more things, right? The economic optimism, which this is a survey of like 1,200 people. Generally you want to be above 50, right, to have more optimism. So although this is a little bit more pessimistic, but I mean, look at last month, 38. And now this month, 44. Who are they polling? Did they poll you? They didn't poll me. Who's last month and then gets surveyed again this month? It's like, yeah, we're doing much better now. What? Okay, so just this is why this will relate good to the quote of the day. Let's get right on that. If you can't convince them, confuse them, by Harry Truman. I think he wrote that about the DXY. The Bitcoin on the hourly, right? The just very slight throwback. Outside bar on this. I mean, we're looking at like a 40x outside bar, right? Usually an outside bar, you like 1 to 2x is pretty rare, right? And engulfs the previous, candle or two. This engulfed the previous like 40 candles, right? From the outside to the bottom. So yeah, that's not generally great, right? But let's zoom out to the daily. You can see where we are right now. We found maybe our footing on the 200 AMA right there. If we zoom out to the daily just a bit, right, looking a little bit better, right? A nice bullish move, right? We saw some follow through after the breakup, but at the top of the Bollinger Band going into resistance, which this is your kind of your turning point here. This is your flip, right? Because of the previous low, right? We talked about this in the video yesterday. We broke that level, right? That was your key level. That would often flip to resistance. So when you're outside of the daily Bollinger Bands, right? Prices by definition are already high, and you're at resistance. So really the odds are that holds, right? And we broke through it briefly right before that news came out, and people anticipating, right? People often front run, try to anticipate the news. Usually doesn't work out so well. Usually it's a freight train in the opposite way. And we got the follow through on said freight train. So now, are we going to hold the EMA 8? Let's see where that's at. The daily EMA 8 is at 21.1. The low, 21.062. So kind of right on it so far. The 21, as long as we remain above the kind of the median Bollinger Band, which is the 20 SMA, that is right now at 20,356. As long as we can remain up in the upper Bollinger Band, we'll remain a little bit more bullish than bearish. But certainly not great news for crypto because the DXY is just, continuously good after good after good after good. So there's more tomorrow, right? There's more tomorrow. Let's go take a look. See if you're looking at it. Wednesday, right? Let's see, where are we at? USD red folders is what you're looking for. PPI, right? So that could shift as well. Last month, negative 0.5. This month, expected minus 0.1. So if we have this, even if it prints as this, a minus 0.1, right? That would still likely be better news than last month, right? So even 0.1 or 0 or flat or 0.1, I mean, you could expect more of the same, right? And people will often front run, right? So usually the initial reaction is the wrong one, but not always, but more times than not. So just letting you know that tomorrow we got a repeat, right? Any kind of red day like this on the USD can really swing markets. Case in point today. How about later? How about Thursday? Do we get a breather? No, you get triple slaps on Thursday. Retail sales, manufacturing, more retail sales. We will see, right? This is expected better than previous month. So that would also be good news for the DXY, you guessed it. And then next week, next Wednesday, I believe it is, Jerome Powell, the interest rates, that will be the big one. And it'll make today look like maybe nothing. So pay attention to that. Doesn't mean we have to, go down more, but we'll see, right? We could have a pivot. We could have something not as forecasted, and that would greatly swing markets yet again. So we'll see if we can find our footing here on the daily. We're still okay as long as we don't come down and start, taking this out, right? The low of, 18 that closed, 18.8. Really, we could go all the way down there. I mean, obviously that'd be a little bit more bearish, but we're trying to really build back up the stairs again. Do one of these, or better. We really need to make a higher high, which would, we got to take out 25K before we make a lower low, right? We don't want to kind of reverse this trend already. We've already taken out this low, this high, right? So we took the steps down. Now we're trying to take the stairs back up. So we don't want to give it all the way back just yet. So let's maybe look at this one, 20,800. If we can close above that today, that'd be a good step in the right direction, right? So that kind of go in line with the 21 EMA. So let's keep an eye on that. And then just briefly on the weekly, right? Let's remove that line. And we could see we're still holding resistance at the 8-week EMA. Maybe we could rally up to the 14, which is 23.2. We got kind of close, right? We got kind of close. The high 22.8. So we'll see what we end up doing. We still have 5.5 days left till we close. But keep that in mind. Keep this video a little bit shorter. What else do we got? Anything else? We could take a snapshot at the DXY real quick, right? Still very healthy, still very bullish. Just a healthy retest of the 8-week EMA, and now, blast off, right? Zoom in a little bit to the daily, and you can see, nothing obscure or remotely bearish really about it, right? Nothing obtuse there. Word to your mother. So this morning when we were opening, right before the news came out, right, Bitcoin was at the top of its Bollinger Band. If you remember, the DXY was at the bottom of its Bollinger Band. So anytime prices are outside or at the bottom or top, right, prices by definition are either low or high, right? So when you have both of those that are, a trading pair, polar opposites, you can probably expect something crazy, and that's what we got, right? So we had the DXY a little bit more crazy than anybody was prepared for, but right now we're on the hourly, at least we're outside up the top, so we're probably due for some sideways movement, just some consolidation, cool off. So long and shorting at this point is kind of a moot point. You're probably just going to get chopped up, right? You got to be in the moves. Timing is everything when you're trying to day trade. So if you miss that boat, there's another boat coming. Be patient, right? There's always another one. Money is abundant in the markets. There's always another one coming. Be patient. Don't try to get chopped after the move. But the DXY is now working on a potential 2x outside bar, but we already have an outside bar here. As you can see, previous candle all the way engulfed. If we go up to like 109.6, we could be working on a 2x outside bar. That would just be more bullish for the DXY. And, we got the opposite going for Bitcoin. We got 1x, 2x, right? Engulfs that whole candle. We're working on a 3x, right? That would be pretty impressive. Hopefully not. We might have already done it, right? We're kind of right at it. You could argue at least 2x, maybe 3x, which is more bearish, right? Which should, likely lead to a little bit more consolidation or downwards, maybe action. Let's look at maybe, holding somewhere in this zone before we remove and go back up again to the upside. So as long as we can kind of remain here and not go back into this sideways zone, I'm still, in a best guess uptrend for Bitcoin, right? If we start to break down outside of, back to 20K level, then we got start to get a little bit more in the bearish boat again. But until then, we're still okay, right? We're still okay. But certainly not great news for crypto with the DXY, catapulting into Hulk heaven there. That candle today. All right, let's get to the quote of the day. We already did it. How about card of the day? Ferrari 812 super fast, just like the DXY, super fast to the upside. There's the side profile view, pretty slick wheels. I think those are maybe the best designed Ferrari wheels in a long time for me. The rear, we got front, side, rear. That's all you need. Pretty cool taillights. Looks different than other Ferraris. What do you think? I like it. But I don't like the price tag. It's like 400K. Now, pass. Many cars I'd rather have before 400K for this guy. But still nice. If you got one, I'm sorry. Still like it. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you found this somewhat pleasingly updatable. Interchangeable.